Good evening, guys. Welcome to the FRL PlayStation 5 season opener of the Super Sprint Sunday Championship. Bringing you action from Imola live tonight, and we've got an absolutely fantastic race lined up with a pretty full grid of around about 28 drivers split between a Pro and an AM tier. So full of action to bring you, as we've got half hour of free practice to finish off as the drivers fine-tune their setups, their tyre pressures and their cars, etc., ready for a 20-minute qualifying session. However, because we are running two tiers in the one server tonight, the session for qualifying is split into two Pro AM sessions of 10 minutes each, and then we have two 30-minute races. No pit stops are required, so it pretty much is foot to the floor, flag to finish sprint race. So it's certainly going to bring us some close action tonight from Imola. So some of you may remember I did cover the season finale last season. I did say it was going to be a one-off appearance, but here I am, I'm back again. I had a lot of fans requesting that I'm back on comms for this season. I had all of two people ask me to come back and do the commentary, so here I am to be bringing you the action of the Super Sprint Sunday Championship throughout this season, and hopefully bring you a couple of interesting insights as well, get you some live driver interviews post-race, maybe do a couple pre-race as well as we progress throughout the calendar. So bear with me, I'll get myself set up for the next couple of hours. I'll leave you with some shots of the cars going around. I'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. So then guys, I'm back. Right, so what I was going to talk to you about was the car selection we've got going on this year, or this season, shall I say. I keep saying this year, but I keep forgetting we have seasons going throughout the calendar year. So this season, quite interesting, quite a varied grid, I would say, in terms of manufacturers. We've got, as you will see on the left-hand side, got quite a few Ferrari. The Ferrari is fairly popular, as you would imagine. A couple of Audis, a couple of McLarens. Worth pointing out are kind of championship holder, title holder, FRL Milden. Ben goes with the Aston Martin this year, which I believe is the only one running in the field. So just pick out a couple of other drivers and their sign-ups. So we've got TK Drifter, the only one going with the Nissan GTR. Oh, hang on, actually, is that right? Oh, beg your pardon, I was incorrect. So we have Maxi going with the Lexus. He's the only one with the Lexus in the season. We've got Harvey, likewise the only one running the Honda, according to the car selection on Discord. We've got 8 drivers with the Ferrari. The BMW, as you would expect, is similar to the Taco series. It's fairly popular again, with 12 drivers going with the BMW M4. I think it's probably not as strong as it was prior to 1.8 update, but it's still a very nice car to drive and to set up well. And then we have the Audi with 9 drivers going with the Audi as well. But as I said, our championship title holder, Milden, gone the only one running the Aston Martin, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. I believe he was running the Mercedes last season. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if you are joining us tonight live, don't forget to leave a like. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to the FRL channel. It'd be very much appreciated. And if you are watching, and likewise share as well with any other Discord communities or friends, that'd be very much appreciated from everyone at FRL. So track conditions tonight then. Currently, obviously as you'll see, it's dry. I don't think there's a chance of rain at all this evening. It's going to be pretty much cloudy and dry throughout. Track status is currently fast. That'll expect that to move to optimum as we move to qualifying and to the race. And a track temp of 33 degrees with an air temp of 27 at the moment. As you will see, lap times probably as you would expect, low 43s. I would imagine we'd get drivers going into the high 42s, mid 42s as we go into qualifying. I'll be surprised if we don't. But it could be an interesting field spread tonight, given the fact that we're running the Pro and Ams in both one server. So traffic could be an option. You don't depends on the pace of the front runners, I suppose. With it only being a 30-minute race, you may not get a chance to do any back markers, but with accidents you may come across a little bit of traffic, so that'd be interesting to see how the front runners navigate those. So 23 drivers currently in the server at the moment, expecting a few more to filter through before qualifying starts in roughly 20 minutes. I know a few of the FRL boys have been at Donington Park this weekend. Seen some of the pictures on the Discord. It looked a good weekend. I was very tempted to go. I'm only up the road in Derby, so I'm literally not far away. But parenting duties and all that meant I had to miss out. But we'll be definitely tempted to be going next year. It does look a good crack. Evening, Stephen. How you doing? It certainly looked it on the pictures, mate. I know there was some questionable drink choices going on from some of the pictures, but it did look a good weekend, and I've heard the racing was really good as well. I saw on the Twitter feed it was action-packed, so definitely tempted to go next year, or if it's Donington or elsewhere. So guys, it's got 20 minutes of free practice. We'll bring you, my plan is to bring you a bit of an onboard lap run through in qualifying. We'll get a driver on their fast lap and we'll stay on board with them throughout the lap. But just going to bring fairly casual coverage for the next 20 minutes for free practice, and then we'll be getting right into the thick of it when it comes to qualifying and to the actual race. Really optimistic about the format this year. The two races could really be, spicing things up. I think you're going to be seeing drivers taking risks. Normally with an hour's race, I know technically that is still a sprint race, but with an hour you tend to be a little bit conservative for the first 10-15 minutes, try where it comes into it, but the 30 minutes you just go all out for it. So we certainly could be seeing some dive bombs, I reckon, quite early on. We'll see how it goes. So, top 3 at the moment, even though the times probably can't read too much into them, but bearing in mind it's practice, but we've got Marty, Rob and Milden in the top 3. Milden's half a second off Marty at the moment, but we don't know what kind of setup these guys are doing. You know, are they concentrating on race trim? You know, or some a little bit underfueled, overfueled, we don't really know. I'd imagine most people are working on their race trim. Evening, Coops. Alright, mate? Evening, JR. As I said, guys, if you are watching, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'm sure you are if you are watching this, but if you haven't, subscribe button would be a massive win. But just going back to the drivers on the grid, we've got some really interesting matchups, I think, this season. There's some really quick guys in here. I mean, that's cool. He's one I've been wheel to wheel with only last weekend, actually, at Kyle Army. Really quick driver. That's cool. I think he's going to have a driver to watch out for this season. Shamso is looking extremely quick in that Ferrari. And obviously you've got the other well-known guys who've been with FRL for a couple of seasons now, but really interesting to see how the likes of Shamso and That's Cool 88 get on. Both running in the Ferrari, number 21 and the number 4 Ferrari, respectively. Evening, Christopher. Welcome to the live stream. I think it'll take more than Photoshop, mate. So, 15 minutes remaining off the free practice. I think drivers will certainly be potentially looking at their qualifying run, qualifying trim now as we go into the final 15. AMS has jumped to the top of the leaderboard with a 43.1. We're creeping ever so closer to those 42s. I'd be really surprised if we're not in the 42s come qualifying. I believe we're now nearing our full grid. Yep, 27 of us in here now, so 27 drivers, I believe. Maybe just one more we're waiting on, but pretty much full grid for tonight for the season opener at Imola. So hope everyone's had a good Sunday so far. I know I have. I've been watching the football this afternoon. Being an Arsenal fan, it is lovely to see Arsenal 4 points clear at the top of the table, but bearing in mind it's only 10 games gone, so that's not going to stay like it. Unfortunately, no Formula 1 this weekend either, but another week for that. But it's been a good weekend so far. I'm really looking forward to the race tonight to cap the weekend off. Great stuff, Chris. Hope you had a few beers. Had a good time, mate. I was saying earlier on in the stream that pictures did look really good. Tempted to be joining whoever's going next year. That's the spirit. That's what I like to hear. It's worth pointing out, unfortunately we had to delay the start of the season due to the 1.8 update issues that the PlayStation's been experiencing. It's been pretty horrendous, hasn't it, really, for us console users. 1.8 dropped, the on-track actual driving was fantastic, but the issues off the track, it's been horrendous. As I'm sure some of you will know, the servers completely crashed. Wasn't allowed no more than 1 or 2 people in the same server, so been restricted to private servers, which they served its purpose for a week or 2, but you know they bring quite a lot of high ping and lag and disconnect. So thankfully the hotfix dropped last week and we've got the servers back up and running. There are still a few bugs, it goes without saying. I mean, the main one being is the setups. Currently the triangle mapping on the PlayStation does not work, so you have to kind of switch your controller settings to controller, load your setup and then back to the wheel. So a bit of a faff for the drivers tonight. I'd imagine what they'll be doing is just having the one setup and adjusting that on the fly between qualifying and the race. But thankfully they have got a couple of minutes between the end of qualifying and the race to kind of get the setups loaded. But yeah, a little bit of a faff to sort out for them, but hopefully they should be fairly used to it now. That's how it's been for the last 7 days or so. Hutch was the drunkest man in Donny. Well, if my memory serves me correct, he was drinking Foster's, I believe. I find that hard to believe if you can get drunk off Foster's, but yeah, I believe you. Marty drops to 42.8. We are into the 42s as expected. Track's now evolving as we move to the optimum track. 33 degrees, 27 air. Certainly perfect conditions now to be fine-tuning that qualifying trim. So as expected with the AM2 in here tonight, we are going to have a little bit of a difference in qualifying and field spread. We've got a couple of guys here 4 seconds off the pace so far, albeit it's only practice. And, we've got lots of people running in different times, so it's going to be quite a varied grid when it comes to not only cars and manufacturers, but times we're going to be seeing. See how that evolves going into the race. But fantastic track though into Imola, absolute legendary track, one of my favourites, got a real nice flow to it. I always think it's a track that looks easier than it is. You know, you kind of think, oh, it's not going to be as bad, but it's such a technical track, just the one mistake, and that is pretty much it for the lap. I know, you know, it's not unique in that respect. Most tracks where you make the one mistake on the flying lap will put you behind, but Imola really is one where if you take any of the corners a little bit wide or a little bit too late on the brakes, you really are catching up for the rest of the lap. There's some really unique overtaking zones, the main one being the straight into turn 1. Or turn 2 technically, is turn 1 is a little kink on the straight, which isn't really a corner for the drivers, but as we go into Tamburello, turns 2, 3 and 4, probably, you know, your first main overtaking spot, and then we're into the Villeneuve chicane as well. It's probably your second, and then there's the Tosa hairpin, and then obviously the chicane, Variante Alta, and Rivazza as well. So a number of overtaking opportunities for the drivers tonight. I would imagine the main one is really getting a good exit off the second Rivazza down the main straight into Tamburello. All going to be about that slipstream. Okay guys, I will just jump off for a couple of minutes as I get ready to qualify, and I'll be back shortly. I couldn't jump off without saying hi to Axel. Evening Axel, how you doing mate? Welcome to the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe, you know the drill. Axel, I hope you're watching keenly tonight, mate, with your notepad and pen at the ready, noting down some tips. I know you've been struggling to pace. You're going to hate me for saying that live on air, but, you know, couldn't resist the opportunity. Mark's notebook after the race. By all means, feel free to join me after the race, or I would love to have you live on the channel, mate. If you're up for giving us a 5-minute rundown. As I said to those of you joining at the start of the stream, I'm hoping to bring some live driver interviews throughout this season. Aiming to probably maybe do podium interviews after the race, or maybe do a couple of driver chats pre-race, you know, during the practice session maybe. We'll see what opportunities arise and see who wants to put themselves forward for a chat with me. So guys, just a reminder of the format tonight, if you wasn't joining us already earlier on. So we have a 20-minute qualifying session, but that is split into the Pro and Am tier, so with 10 minutes on each tier. And then we have two 30-minute races. No pit stop is required, so it's purely flag to finish sprint kamikaze racing, so hopefully we're going to get some really exciting racing tonight where drivers aren't holding back. Hopefully clean racing, of course, but good competitive racing. But yeah, Mark, you are right, mate. It is insane pace so far. 42.1. I know I certainly haven't got that in my bag when it comes to Taco Tuesday, which I'll be driving in on this coming Tuesday. I'm currently around about low 43s around here myself. But obviously I'm no professional. So guys, minute to qualifying. Is your 1 minute warning to go get yourself a drink for the qualifying and race up ahead. Be it a coffee, nice cup of tea, or an alcoholic beverage. I'm currently sat here with a nice ice cold orange juice because I'm potentially nursing a fairly bad head. Drivers here just wrapping up their last couple of flying laps in practice. Tyre pressures are all going to be sorted now, you'd imagine. Sorry, my dog has just completely jumped on me and scared the hell out of me. So yes, hopefully the drivers are got their tyre pressures sorted. Setups quite a high downforce track, so you'd imagine most people are running a fairly high wing. All about attacking those curves as well. You can really be aggressive with the curves around here. Rob just pulls up on his lap. So that's free practice over. Got Hams in P1, Marty P2, and Rob P3. 42.1 is the lead lap in free practice as we head into qualifying. I'll be back with you guys in a brief moment. Chris, we have 27 drivers racing tonight in the 2 tiers.
Green light, give it all you can.
Okay, here we go guys, qualifying started. Let's bring you some drivers are rushing out already, so what we'll do, we'll try and stay on board with those on the flying lap. So just bear with me for a moment just while I get the camera set up. So car 91 is the first one out. Moss in the 91 Audi. First one out the pits. It isn't too bad, Chris. It is not too bad now. You know, the 1.8 has really brought a lot of life to the console version. The actual driving is fantastic. It's just the bugs off the track. As I said earlier, the setup bug's probably the main one at the moment. But look, we're getting there. Good thing is, each season we're seeing more and more numbers join. I mean, the Taco Tuesday series that's about to begin this coming week is up to 3 tiers now, which is just great. I think that's only going to increase as well if more people join from the PlayStation 4 version. So, we will stay on board with Moss, 91 Audi for the first flying lap as he comes around the final 2 corners at Rivazza. Key exit here, really got to get a good exit as it's going to define how quick you are down this start-finish straight. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, qualifying, first flying lap of the evening. Let's go. So into turns 2, 3 and 4, Tamburello. A little bit deep there, as the tyres are probably still getting up to temperature. To hairpin fairly well navigated there for Moss as we climb up the hill towards Piratella. Tricky left-hander, kind of got to throw the car in a little bit early, and then one of the trickiest corners on the circuit now, Aqua Minerali. Crash right-hander early on the brakes, downshift to second gear, sometimes first, but second gear should do it. Avoid those yellow sausage curves on the left. And here we are coming up to Variante Alta. You really got to attack the curbs here, depending on your car, but you can really get over those curbs and gain some time. Again, not going too far out, but fairly conservative from Moss. As you would expect, first flying lap, tyres aren't quite there yet in terms of heat and in terms of pressures. And then down into Rivazza 1. Again, another tricky left-hander. It's off camera a little bit, that downhill. The car wants to go out wide, but keeping it nice and cool. Good exit there from Moss. And that's the lap. We'll see what time he brings in for the first flying lap. for flat. I'll just watch these times come in from the following cars. So Rob, P2 currently, Hams goes top in 43.3, so certainly a quick time for opening lap. Shamzo goes into P4, Gabri and Elysium up in 6th, Nico there going straight into P4 as well. Still got plenty of cars still coming around. I see the 888 Porsche King of the Hills coming around to Rebecca, so we'll see how he gets off. Just a reminder, this is split qualifying session, so pros are currently running for the first 10, and then it will be the AM tier in the last 10 minutes. So we've got the majority of cars coming back round for their second lap, so we'll just watch the scoreboard on the left as the times and driving positions chop and change as we would expect. So Jetpack straight into P1 there with 42.9. We did see a P1 time of I just saw Darren Mert there really catch the chicane wrong. But as he nicely done avoiding coming back onto the track there so he doesn't get in the way of the other drivers. We'll go on board with Jetpack to see if he's going to be improving that time, but Jetpack straight into P1 there. So I was just saying, referring to the pre-practice time, so we had a pre-practice time of a 42.1 from Hams. So we've currently got a 42.9 from Jetpack, so we are expecting that time potentially come down one every second or so. 3 minutes remaining of the Pro qualifying session. Let's join last season's Sunday Championship winner, Milden, Ben. Currently P5 in the Aston. Heading up to the left-hander Piratella, braking just after the 50 metre board, trying to get that car in early, not run too wide out on the right. And see how he navigates Ascot Minerali. Hams go into pole position currently, provisional pole, 42.5. So we have Hams currently in P1, Jetpack Nebula P2, and Storage P3. Apologies if I've mispronounced that. So Milden comes over the line and does improve, but doesn't go any higher than his current position, which is P6, to improve his time, but it's not good enough to move him from his current position of P6. Let's have a look on the map and see where some of our drivers are. So we've got car number 83 coming back round. That is Lamaro in the 83 Audi. Join him for the final part of the lap as he goes through Ravazza 1. He's got a little bit deep there, touching the tyres on the gravel. Hopefully that's not really cost him a tenth or two, I would imagine. improve there. And then we have car number 91 coming around, Moss. Moss likewise doesn't improve, and we've got Am's gone off there at the FRLACC. Historiker. Can he improve on his time? Ever so close to P2 here. He doesn't. With 18 seconds remaining, these drivers who are crossing the line are going to be able to get another flying lap in. So we have the AM tier cars now leaving the pits for their qualifying session. I'm just going to watch Lamaro come round. That's the Audi back in there wanting to step out. He's going to come round to finish his flying lap to see if he can improve on his P11, and then we'll give you a quick rundown of the provisional order before the cars start. So let's quickly switch to the timetables to bring you the current provisional running order. So we have Ans in P1 with a 42.5, not as quick as his practice time, it must be said. We then have Jetpack in P2, 42.9, Storico P3, Rob P4, Mild in P5, Marty in 6th, Shamso in the Ferrari 7th, as Elysium jumped up to 6th, Moss in 9th, and King of the Hills, the 888 Porsche in P10. So it's only provisional order, but we'll bring you the finalised grid at the end of the session. So 8 minutes to go. Let's get on board with some of these drivers. So who have we got? We've got car number 14, which is NSPEX. NSPEX? We'll go NSPEX. We'll run with that. That sounds about right. Just minimise this HUD for you. There we go. So guys, if you haven't already, please make sure you leave a like, and any comments, questions, whack them in the chat. Not that I'll be able to answer any technical questions, but feel free to keep the comments coming, and if you haven't already done so, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel, as we will be bringing you every single round of the championship for the Sunday Super Sprint on the PlayStation 5 throughout this season. So, as we have NSPEX, or NSPEX, we'll go with NSPEX, starts his flying lap, car number 14 in the McLaren. Let's see how he gets on. Got a car leaving the pit lane, which is probably thinking the worst timing, but he's managed to come out in front. It's a fairly clean first couple of corners at Tamburello, as he heads down to turns 5 and 6 at the Villeneuve chicane. And looking fairly tidy so far. Again, first lap for some of these cars, so pressures are not going to be where they want them to be. It's going to be the first couple of laps are always a little bit slower, as laps 3, 4 and 5, depending how long you've fueled up for. seems to have a couple of drivers still out on track from the pro tier, as we see N-Specs lock up into FRLACC there. A couple of drivers maybe getting a little bit confused with the qualifying rules this evening, but I don't believe the order has changed. So N-Specs goes into P20 at that time, but as expected he did lock up, so I would imagine it isn't the ultimate time he's got in the bag. Let's have a look at car 70 with Gilas 22 coming around the final two corners at FRLACC. Let's see if he can improve on his time, originally P20 at the moment. Does not improve. Shadow Lancer and the BMW M4 as a Mercedes back end really wanting to take itself off shopping there. It was not looking to stay on the track, but he's managed to keep it on the Mercedes. Shadow Lancer probably enjoying a nice little tow there, I'd imagine. As the car number 87 of Captain Beak. We'll go with Captain Beak. It looks like a captain. We'll go with Captain Beak. So N-Specs coming back round. Let's see what time he does as he crosses the start-finish line. See if he can improve on his current time. Doesn't improve again. Lewis Mason in the 41 Ferrari. It's a nice looking Ferrari, that is a nice colour. Does improve up to P19 for Lewis. And then we have car number 7, which is Brando in the McLaren. And we have Jester coming across now in the number 3 Ferrari, running for the FRL racing team this season. Currently P26. That's cool. Not yet out of the pits, not sure why that is. He was running from the back, I'm not sure, but I was bigging Daskall up as well before they started the qualifying, but here he's going to be starting from P27 if he doesn't get out quickly. Car number 14 coming around as well. That's the back line, that's N-Specs getting into it. We'll join back in, see what he can do. Currently 4.3 seconds off the pace. Oh, is he serving a penalty, is he? I will explain why. Trip to the steward's room, is it? Last to first challenge. He's certainly quick enough, isn't he? Axel and I witnessed that at Kyalami the other weekend, which I'm still feeling very bitter about, which I won't go into because Axel will probably like to remind me how he finished first in that race at Kyalami. But if you haven't seen it already, I would definitely recommend it. Axel posted the stream. It's fantastic. We had myself in P1, Axel in second, and Daskall in third. We're running for about 45 minutes at Kyalami within a second of each other. Cracking race. Unfortunately, I had to avoid a back marker at turn 3 and lost it. Went on to finish third, but cracking race. Daskall was very quick at Kyalami. You must have met him at the steward's room. Thank you, Axel. Yes, I'm well aware that I'm made potentially on first name basis of the receptionist in the steward's room. Been there a couple of times from last season. Obviously, we do encourage clean and competitive racing here at FRL. But there is a few of us who do like to visit the steward's room every now and then, myself included. So guys, we've got quite a lot to get through, so I'll leave the scoreboard up on the left hand side so you can see, but we've got qualifying has finished now. There may be one or two drivers who could still be on flying laps. Car number 14 is coming across, but we've got Amza P1, Jetpacker P2, Storico 3rd, Rob 4th, Martin 5th, Ben 6th, Ellis Seaman 7th, Shamso 8th, Mossin 9th, and King of the Hill 10th. Then we have Lamaro P11, Nico 12th, Rhino in P13, we'll go with that. Palamoid 14th, Ryan or Rin in 15th, Gabri in 16th, Chico, one of my favourite drivers, Chico Time, P17th, Inspect P18th, Darren 19th in the Ferrari, Shadow Lancer, Lewis, Jack Slater, Gilas, Brando in P24, and then we have Captain Beak, Jester, and Das Cool rounding off the grid. So that is the qualifying, guys. So got about a minute or so to the race. I'm just going to grab myself a quick drink before we get into it. So I'll be back with you guys in a minute. So guys, we're just waiting for the race to start here. Got the qualifying grid order on the left hand side of the screen there for you. We're just a minute or two away from the race starting. So just bear with us as the grid and server changes over. But as a reminder, we have got 2 races tonight of 30 minutes each. There is no pit stop required, so it's literally start to finish, flag, rush. 30 minutes, all out racing, so we should have a really good exciting contest and a couple of races to show you tonight. Okay, so here we go guys for the ACC Super Sprint FRL Sunday season opener at Imola. Got a massive grid tonight at 28 cars. I say massive, it's massive for the PlayStation version anyway. Really excited to bring you this race live. Hopefully we can avoid any turn 1 drama. But we've got the formation lap to go where the main aim of the game is to get those temperatures up in the tyres. So got a couple of minutes here for the drivers to just quickly adjust their setups. You may see the couple of cars jumping up and down if that is the setup being applied. Just show you the qualifying order here in a bit of a larger format for you all. So that is the top 22. As you'll see, quite a nice mix of cars tonight. You know, Ferrari probably is the popular one looking at the numbers, but you know, Ferrari and the BMW will always be the popular cars. But we have got quite a nice variation, you know, Audis and Lambos in there. Though Ben is the only one running in the Aston in car number 1. And then from P22 down, we have Gilas, Brando, Captain Beak, Jester and Dascool. Dascool, can confirm, was serving a qualifying ban. We won't go any further into that. But certainly one to watch, no doubt. Car number 21 for the Ferrari. Dascool is a quick driver, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on from the back there. Hopefully I haven't put the commentator's curse on. I've picked him up now a few times, haven't I? I'm conscious I have mentioned him a few times now, but hopefully I haven't given him the commentator's curse and he bins it into the first corner, but it should be exciting to see how he gets on. So thank you all for joining us. I think there's quite a good few of us on watching live. Thank you for the comments, the likes. Really is appreciated.
30 seconds.
Evening. So, formation lap is underway as the number 15 Audi and leads them away. Jetpacker will find himself in a bit of a middle of an Audi sandwich coming into the Tamburello chicane, I would imagine. So it's all about getting that tyre pressures up now on this lap. Hours of practice has been done, qualifying's over. This is it. Hopefully you've got the right setup on, you've got the right tyre set on. It's just now a case of getting around this opening lap and waiting for that green flag to drop. It's all down to the drivers. So as a reminder, there are 2 tiers of drivers running tonight, so we could have a little bit of a field spread after the first 10-15 minutes, depends on the pace from the front runners. Really healthy grid size tonight. It's going to be carnage. I'm probably going to struggle to keep up with the action, I'd imagine, on the first lap, given the the camera controls, but I'll do my best to stay with the best of the action, guys, and bring you what I can. We will of course stay with the front few cars for the first few corners. So we're not far out now, guys, not far out. Final few corners, the revats are coming up, and then we'll be going into the good old Noah's Ark 2x2. Lovely shot there of the cars coming through the final corner. So here we go, season opener at Imola for the FRL Formula Racing League PlayStation 5 on ACC. Let's hope it's a cracking season. I'm sure it's going to be. Let's hope it's a cracking race. Let's see who gets the best start. Waiting for those green lights. And we're off. Green, 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 let's go. Ams have got a good start. The Jetpack has also got a better start down the right. The Lamborghini, number 25, going to the outside. Hopefully the cars avoid action. And Ams has got out in front. He's managed to take the inside. Looks like everyone's managed to navigate the first few corners really well. We have got a car off at the back, I believe. We'll switch that in a minute, but we'll stay on board for the front runners for the time being, as I will then flip through the field. So Ams leads them away, followed by Jetpack. Had a fantastic start. Looked like he had the run on Ams, but didn't make it into the Tamburello chicane. So as we are, Tosa up the hill towards Piratella. Front two pulled away a little bit, probably half a second from Storico in third and Rob in fourth. We'll just switch back to this view just so I can bring you the order. So here we go. So Storico P3, Rob in P4, Ben Milden in P5, Marty P6, Shamso 7th, LEC in 8th, and Limara in 9th, and King of the Hills, the Triple Eight Porsche rounding into the top 10. So the outer chicane navigated well, really good opening lap. I think everyone stuck with it. There's been no dramas, has gone off really. Had a yellow flag at turn 1, but everyone's still with us so far. Really clean start, really nice racing so far from everyone. So key question here, what can that number 25 Lamborghini Jetpack Nebula do on this straight? Can he get on that slipstream of Ams? Has the Lambo got a better pace down the straight? We'll find out. It's not close enough this lap, I don't believe. Field's starting to stretch out a little bit as the UI just updates with the positions. So Ams leading him into lap 2. Really clean start from everyone here. And we've already got quite a gap already from car number 3 and car number 47. If you look at your map to the bottom right, already a bit of a field spread happening between the two tiers, as you would expect. So, well, here we go. As Milden is looking down the inside of Rob. Probably not the best place to overtake. Aquaminal is such a tricky corner. Ben really looking competitive. Gone a little bit deep, I think, in the chicane. We'll stick with this one as Marty looks to be really close to Milden here in the Aston. Can he get a good exit out of Rivoxa 2 and down the main straight? tracker showing him as 0.4 behind. Let's see what kind of exit he gets. He's looking quite close, to be fair. We'll stick on board with this one. Mildon could be saved by Rob here if he's going to be getting dragged along by that Bentley, which I think he has. Lamaro really closing up on Champso there. Have we got a car off? I think we have. I think there's a car just been spinning off. Can't quite see who that was. Apologies. I think that we have just lost a car. It's Marty, 226 BMW. He's the one who's dropped down in order. Come down to P20. Not sure what happened there. Looked like he lost it on the exit coming out of Tamburello, turn 4. So front runners are starting to build a little bit of a gap here. We have Storico, who is keeping with the front two, but then we have Rob, who is 2.4 seconds behind already. So we have the top 3 certainly pulling away. Let's see if Storico can keep with them, as Jetpack is really getting close here to Ams, going down into the Rivazza 1. That Lambo is certainly looking feisty. Can he get a good exit? He's close out. This is going to be really close coming down here. It all depends on the straight line speed of the Audi and the Lambo. Storico will be desperate to keep onto the back of these two. The Audi is strong down the main straight in a straight line. We have a quick flick through the rest of the field, see where the action is. Let's have a look at some of the AM tier. So that's cool. Let's have a look. The number 21 Ferrari did start from the back due to a qualifying ban. As predicted, he has made up a couple of spots up to P22 now, on the back of Brando in the McLaren. Let's see how he gets on. Got a good exit there. He's surely going to have the better run going into the Villeneuve chicane. He's gone to the left. Brando's let them have the inside, and that's cool, nicely done. Down the inside into the Villeneuve, going into Tosa. We've got a car a little bit going wide in the background there. And looks like that was Gilas, potential Jack Slater. It's Jack Slater in the number 5 BMW. A little bit wide. Lost a position or two. So lovely overtake there, and that's cool. Up to P21 now, as he makes his way towards Marty, who is now a little bit out of position, it must be said. He was, I think he was the guy who went off the last lap, so he's going to have a few spots to make up. He hasn't got a lot of time, 20 minutes in the sprint race, so he's going to have to be aggressive now in that Beamer. As he's all over the back of Lewis Mason in the Ferrari. The Lewis Mason Ferrari's not having any of that bit of contact there. Not sure what happened there. Lewis Mason is off in the Ferrari, whether that's a bit of contact with Marty. Couldn't quite tell from the camera angle. Looks like Lewis went a little bit too deep into the chicane, maybe unstable the car over those bumps. But Marty has took the position. So here we are, car number 1, the Aston Martin of FRL Mildon, currently all over the back of the old Bentley. What can he do going into Tosa? Is he close enough to send it up the inside? He is not. Must be said, guys, really good racing so far. You know, 8 minutes into the race. Not had any major incidents yet, apart from Lewis going off there, the chicane, but really good, clean racing so far. It's the pace from the front 3 is just really hot so far. if you're laughing what I think you're laughing at, Pete, then yeah, apologies if I went quiet for a minute or two there. So, Imola, half a second behind Shamso. Interesting colour scheme going on there for the Audi. Got bright red and yellow. Car number 83. Looking nice though, looking fast. As you'll see from the UI track on the left hand side, AMS has extended his gap, his lead to 2.6 seconds ahead of Jetpacker in the Lamborghini, and looks like Storico is 0.7 behind him. We'll just go back on board with these guys. Jetpacker potentially made a mistake, I'd imagine. He wouldn't have all of a sudden just lost 3 seconds without making a mistake, so that's really put him in trouble. Storico is really going to be on the back of him now going into the chicane. He's going to have to park that Lambo correctly, which he has done. We'll stay on board for these two. Yeah, you are right, AMS is absolutely flying, some incredible pace so far. 3 seconds. So that Lambo stepping out a little bit as well. Has that exit put him in trouble? Is Storico gonna get a run down into Tamburello? I think he's a little bit too far back to make a move, but there is a chance this could lead on to the Villeneuve. Top two here really are pulling out a gap, 2.6 seconds to Rob. So they're not really bothered about what's behind them at the moment. It's all about just wheel-to-wheel racing right now between Jetpacker and Storico. Gap now 4 seconds down, really is extending that gap. So let's have a look at his race pace. I mean, the lap so far did a 42.6, 43 last lap, 42.7 the lap before. So really good race pace there from AMS. Look down the field to see where the action is. Everyone's still fairly spread out in the top 10. That's called out 16th. Marty right on his tail though. We'll make it back to those in a second. And N-Specs is also closely followed by Darren in the Ferrari. Shadow Lancer, welcome to the stream, and sorry to read that you got punted off. I didn't actually catch that on the stream. But unfortunately, to see that out. But there is race 2. But as you join us, we've got AMS out in the front with 3.8 lead of Jetpack. It looks like Jetpacker did make a mistake a couple of laps ago, but he has sort of regained that a little bit now. Storico's fell off. He was under a second, but he's now going back to 1.3 behind him. So it looks like he's kind of regained, probably cleaned up his tyres. If he did go wide, he would have picked up a load of dust and gravel and all sorts in the tyres. So they've cleaned up now. He's probably stabilised that gap a little bit. But as you'll see, the field is fairly evenly spread out. We've got Mark. We'll join Marty on board. I think he's close to Das Cool, going up to the outer chicane. But as you'll see, the drivers are fairly evenly spaced, certainly in the top 10, and that is the case. So the question is, can Marty get a good exit? Can he get on the back of that Ferrari? This is all just over P16. He's out of position a little bit, Marty, but I'd argue Dascool is also likewise out of position, serving that qualifying ban. So here we go. BMW is certainly looking extremely quick as Dascool moves to the inside. He comes to the outside, a little bit of a late move in the braking zone there. Comes to the outside, both get through turn 2 and 3 nicely, Tamburello, but he's going to be putting right on the back going into Villeneuve, as here comes Marty, both on the brakes heavy, and I've got Gabri in the McLaren catching very quickly. So how is Dascool going to navigate Gabri in the 729 McLaren coming up the hill from Tosa?
You're halfway through, not over yet.
Right on the back, so he's, all of a sudden he's turned from defender to attacker. As he looks in the inside, that's an absolute cracking move, the inside of Piratella. Don't normally see it overtakes there, as Marty follows him through as well. He sees that, he says thank you very much, I'll have some of that as well. So in the space of probably 200 metres, Gabri's lost two places, unfortunately for him, but some cracking overtake there going into the left-hander of Piratella from both Marty and Dascool. We'll just go to the back, towards the back end and join the AM tier. We've got some really close fighting going on here. We'll just join the action. If I can pick up the right car here. Let's stay on board with these guys for a lap, as you will see from the tracker below, the bottom right. The cars in the Pro tier really are nicely spaced out, so the racing isn't that close at the moment. So we'll stick on board with these guys, as we've got Gilas 22 and 23rd and Brando in 22nd. So we've joined the action here of car number 83 Lamaro. He's only just half a second behind Champso. Battle for 7th position here in the top 10 in the opening race of the FRL Super Sprint Sunday at Imola, which you will see that AMS is, I would say, fairly comfortably in control. 4 seconds is quite a gap. It seems to be getting bigger as well, so he is comfortably leading the race so far, AMS, but as you know, at Imola, you are never too far away from dipping your tyres in the gravel or making a mistake, and that 4 seconds can quickly evaporate, as I'm sure Jetpack will be keeping him honest in P2. So, as we head into the final 10 minutes of the opening race, let's see what drivers can make some moves, see where the movers and shakers are. We'll join back on board with the number 21 Ferrari, Dascool. As you saw a lap or two ago, he managed to get past Gabri. He's now all over Mr. Chico, so he's not going to repeat the move what he previously did into Piratella. We're definitely going to stick on board. I think Marty behind will be thinking, whatever you move, mate, Dascool, I'll be following. I'll be trying to stick with him, as both of these drivers spice through the pack. So Chico looks like he was a little bit slow into the outer chicane as that opened the door for Das Cool. It's going to be very hard to make a move going into Rivazza. It's going to be all about the exit. You know, don't sacrifice the exit by shoving it down the inside into Rivazza. So get a good exit out of Rivazza too. Marty's going to be following behind. Ferrari. Certainly a few horses galloping down the front as Chica goes to the left. Das Cool to the right, to the outside. Who's going to be the latest on the brakes? Das Cool's made the move, even on the braking zone there. Fantastic racing. As Das Cool moves up into another position. Have we seen Marty make another mistake there, I believe, as he's dropped back as well. So, recap on that one. Das Cool. He's dispatched Chico. He's moving up. He's now into P14. Head to the race leader, as you'll see, gap now 4.3 seconds to Jetpacker. Fantastic race so far from Hams. Just got to keep it clean for the next 9 minutes. Don't lose your head. Just keep your braking points the exact same. Storico in P3. Rob P4, Milden P5, comes LSC in the Porsche, number 8 Porsche, Shamso, he's looking very quick in the pre-season races, Shamso, particularly at Spa. Lamaro in P8. Nico in P9, and King of the Hills, who I believe started 10th and is still running 10th. A nice consistent King of the Hills so far. So he's under pressure from Rhino. I'm going to go with Rhino. Do apologise if I completely misunderstood the spelling of that, but I'm going to go with Rhino in the 283 BMW. Go on board, get you some different camera angles next few minutes. Right, they're very quite early on the brakes, they're going into the chicane. As we now come down to Rivazza, the braking zone, the braking markers, probably the 150 metre, 100 metre board just there on the right hand side. Such a tricky corner, as the car just wants to gravitate towards that outside. Slight tap on the brake going into Rivazza 2, and then just straight on the power, move the car out wide a little bit, keep the car to the right here. Oh, we've got a joined on board with Milden there. It looks like Jetpacker's made a mistake. Jetpacker, who was in P2. Jetpacker, so unfortunate. He was in P2, looking comfortable as well for a podium. He's made a mistake at the top of Piratella. He's just joined on board with Milden at the right time there to see the Lamborghini facing the opposite way. Milden probably needs a change of racing seat after seeing the Lamb coming around Piratella and seeing the Lamborghini staring at him. Moved up to P4 now. we've got Captain Beak, the 87 Mercedes. Looks like he's retiring from the race. Not sure why, but that's the car number 87 out of the race. Captain Beak. We'll stick on board here as Limaro chases down Shamso, going into Tosa. Audi beat Ferrari. 4 minutes remaining, guys. This is where we really start seeing some of the drivers probably just committing to the overtake, getting a little bit impatient, probably feeling a little bit hot under the collar. Looking up and seeing only 4 minutes remaining, they're probably thinking, right, I'm going to send it now. This is where we could start seeing some of the snakes and ladders, so to speak. And it looks like we have another car heading to the pits. Just trying to find out who that is. As we see Limaro, the Audi, really not liking the entry into Ravazza 1 there. Tyres are screeching, saying, please no more. Man, you've lost a lot of time there, unfortunately. So I'm just trying to find out for you guys who has dropped. I think it's Jack Slater. So we've got Jack Slater, car number 5, his retired also from the race. So we've got 3 retirees then. Shadow Lancer, who I believe mentioned earlier on in the live chat that he was punted off, unfortunately. Racing incident, maybe, we don't know. And Captain Beak, who we watched short while ago retired, and now Jack Slater has also retired from the race. So, final 3 minutes, as you will find, top 3 is Ams in P1 with a 9-second lead. He really is running control in this race beautifully. He's probably, given the fact that we're in Imola, he's probably enjoying a nice glass of limoncello or something on the side while navigating the corners, as the lead is that big. But Storico in P2 obviously gained 1 spot from Jetpacker, who went off, and Rob, who moves up to P3 to the final podium spot. And I believe the only Bentley as well in the field tonight. So we only have 1 Bentley and one Aston Martin. Always nice to see a couple of people going for the the cars that not everyone is running. So let me just have a look at my driver tracker and see where the action is for the final 2 minutes. Everyone is fairly spaced out at the moment, it must be said. And of course, we've got Das Cool on the back of Chico. Now, I believe he got past Chico a couple of laps ago, so whether Chico got back at him and we missed that on the live stream, or maybe we say we don't know, but here we go again. Probably round 2 or round 3 between these two. Das Cool and Chico, and stay on board with this camera angle as well, as Chico's going to go to the inside, Das Cool to the right hand side. Both brakes fairly late. He's going to do a bit of this switcheroo. He is. Das Cool on the outside now, but he finds himself on the inside of turn 4. Both drivers really keeping good racing there from both drivers, giving each other space. That's what we like to see. Das Cool certainly has been the entertainment officer in the race tonight. He's made a couple of overtakes.
Final lap.
So, as you would have heard there and seen on your screen, guys, leader is on the final lap. So, we will join AMS for the final lap. Cracking drive for the opening race of the season. You know, despite being a fantastic race, questions will certainly be asked straight away. Can he maintain it going into race 2 though? That's the question. Can you do a repeat in the next sprint? We'll find out. We'll have a couple of minutes, guys, in between the race. Get yourself a refresher of your drink before we start race 2. So guys, thank you for joining us for the opening race of the FRL Super Sprint season on PS5. As race 1, sprint 1 draws to a close as AMS coming in to Rivatsa to hopefully, barring any last minute dramas, will bring the first opening race win home. But really appreciate you joining us on the live stream. And don't forget there is one more race coming as we have sprint 2 coming up. So here we go, car number 15, the Audi, flashing his lights, fantastic drive from AMS. Congratulations to AMS, winner.
Finished the race.
Following AMS up, 10 seconds down the road, is Storico in the number 88 Audi. So the two Audis, P1 and P2. As we have the fireworks and the pyro going off, and then Rob in the Bentley, in the number 75 Bentley, P3. That's your podium, guys. AMS P1, Storico P2, and Rob P3. Milden in P4, Jetpack P5, that's a mistake, he'll be gutted after making that mistake, he was on for a P2. LSD in P6, Shamso P7, Lamara P8, and Nico coming home in P9, and King of the Hills, a really nice consistent drive from him, I believe he started P10, finishing in P10 in 888 Porsche. Bit of a close finish going on here between Rhino and Polamoid. It's going with the drag of the two BMWs, but they finished respectively. That's cool, really good race in P15. Worth saying he did start from the back. Chico in P16. Gabri coming home in P17. It's showing us Moss in P18, but I believe that is a glitch. I believe he finished P18. N-Specs, Darren in P19, N-Specs coming home in 20th. Rando under a little bit of late pressure, I believe, coming home in P21. And then Justin, 22nd. So, that's your race 1, guys, that's your race season opener. I'll be back with you in a couple of minutes for race 2. So guys, for those of you just joining the live stream, we are just in between the two races at the moment. We do have race 2 coming up for you, which will be another 30-minute sprint. So just bear with us while we switch over to race 2 and bringing you the live action shortly.
Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
'So guys, welcome back to the coverage as we begin the formation lap for race 2. As you will see at the top of your screens, we're now at 5 PM at Imola with another 30-minute sprint. It's the same grid as before, no changearoos, switcheroos with the grid. It's the same grid as the qualifying. So AMS will lead them, as we have Jetpacker and Storico. What will be interesting to see is if AMS can continue that performance going into this race. He certainly, with his race pace, did look very strong compared to the rest of the field, but you just never know what's going to happen, because they make a mistake lap 1 and Jetpacker keep it clean and not make a mistake like he did in race 1 and get that podium position. I'm going to try and bring you a live driver interview as well post-race. Hopefully try and get 1 or 2 people to join us for a quick chat as we debrief the race, and we'll look ahead to the taco season as well, which is starting on Tuesday. We'll see what we can do there. Hopefully this time it actually works correctly. I did try and bring you a live post-reaction interview with one of the drivers on my opening appearance in comms back at the Nürburgring, but you couldn't hear them. You could only hear me talking to myself, but hopefully we've figured it out correctly this time. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, pal. As I said, it was only going to be a one-off appearance for me on comms, but all 2 of my fans wanted me back for a season, so you've got me now to put up with my amazing tones, amazing commentary for a whole season. For those of you listening and watching, hopefully see some of you out on track in the tacos, as I will be racing in the endurance and taco season on PS5. Certainly won't be having the pace of AMS, that's for sure. But I'm currently in tier 2 on the taco series, so I'm hoping to looking for a top 5, top 8 position really. I think in general pace-wise, but we'll see how we get on. So anyway, back to tonight. As we come round to the final couple of corners, as race 2 gets underway. So here they go into the good old Noah's Ark 2x2 formation. AMS weaving that Audi to try and get some tyre heat in those tyres. So here they come. Again, we have Jetpacker in a bit of an Audi sandwich, with Storico in the 88 Audi behind. So, here we go guys, race 2, green, let's go! Another good start from AMS, but that Lamborghini of Jetpacker is coming back at him again around the outside, as they go into turn 1. Are they going to keep it clean? AMS has, it looks like Storico really being aggressive behind Jetpacker there, but all 3 of them, and everyone's managed to get through. We've got a couple of cars off at the back, I believe, but most people have got around okay. Yeah, we do have a car off the back. We'll have a look at that if we can a little bit later on to see who that was. But again, everyone really clean away. AMS straight off, building a half a second gap already. I'll just get to this screen here, I can bring you. So Jetpacker P2, Sorica P3, Rob P4, Milden P5, Marty 6, Ellie Seams 7th, but it's going down the inside. It looks like Moss. This is going to be, they've got 3 cars wide here, this is not going to end well I don't think in this part of the track. Heavy on the brakes. We'll stay with this. This is absolutely fantastic opening lap action here as we're going into the Variante Alta. Cars side by side. LSCM and Moss. Firing these cars through, they come absolutely flying through the chicane. Oh, big accident there, big accident. We've got massive accident there. Not sure who that was. It's 218, car number 218. That's Nico in the 218 Audi. Car 170. Can we find them on the tracker? We can. It's Gilas. We'll have a look at that. Going back anyway. Opening lap complete. Bounds a little bit deep there as Jetpacker follows. Sorry guys, I just have to quickly go off commentary for 30 seconds while I'm back. So, we have AMS leading them away with over a second gap. Storico P3, Rob P4, Milden P5, Marty P6, Ellison P7, Moss 8, Chanto 9 and Imola 10. Towards the back of the grid, we've got Gilas and Nico, who were the two cars involved with that accident up at the chicane, up at the outer chicane, as they make their way back through. That's Cool, who did start at the back of the grid again, as he had a qualifying ban, so he did start both races from the back. He's up to P22. He certainly was the one to watch in race 1, and he sliced his way through a couple of the people in the field. I mean that in a clean, competitive way. We'll see what he can do here as he's in the back of the number 5 BMW, Jack Slater, as he goes to the inside, going into the Tamburello turn 2, 3 and 4. As Jax goes a little bit thick to the wheels on the grass there. It's going to be Das Cool's corner. He's gone deep though, both of them have gone deep over the sausage curbs. Das Cool keeps the position. So up to 21st, Carlin 21 Ferrari, Das Cool. And we've got a car again going wide. Let's just try and find out who that was. Enspex, the number 14 McLaren's gone wide at the Villeneuve just before Tosa. He's keeping out of the way, which is really good to see. Hate to see cars rejoining the track and there's other people coming through, so he's lost it at the Villeneuve and unfortunately dropped back now to the back. So that's Enspex. So we'll go back to the field, King of the Hills and Chico. Really close midfield action going on here towards the top 10. We have Gilas and Captain Beak closely following each other through the outer chicane. So top 3 is as he were in the previous lap. AMS leads them through with Jetpacker in P2 and Storico in P3. I'm going to stay on board with these two though, which is Gilas, as they've already, I think Captain Beak's made a mistake on the exit, and the side by side, 2 Mercedes here. Captain Beak slips in behind, and I think Gilas is going to get the position here, unless he makes a mistake in the braking zone. So Gilas up to 25th, as we'll go back towards the middle of the field and see what we've got going on. So here we go, we've got a right group of cars here. Halemoid, the number 17 BMW. Rin Ryan in P12, King of the Hills, Triple 8 Porsche, followed by Chico, not far behind. And let's just go to the number 88 Audi. Storico is right on the gearbox now, Jetpacker. What's he going to do going into Ravazza 1? He's gone down the inside. He's having a little sneak preview there. Like, he was almost saying, "Look, the door's slightly ajar. I'm gonna get this Audi in there," but managed to keep it clean. May have just compromised his run down the straight a little bit. We'll see what he can do going into the Tamburello chicane. Both on the brakes pretty much at a similar time. Really good racing here. Jetpacker's got a little bit squirrely. This is going to be close going into the Villeneuve. Turns 5 and 6. This is going to be really close. What can Storico do? Is he going to send it? Is he going to play it safe? 22 minutes remaining. He's the Audi stepping out a little bit. That back rear tyres were saying no thank you. I think he's kept the receipt from my tyres because I'm not having any of that. As he's lost a couple of tenths there going into the Tosa, coming out of Tosa, shall I say. All this, meanwhile, AMS is absolutely storming away. He's going to be absolutely loving these two scrapping. It's just going to benefit him in the lead, extending that gap to 3.5 seconds. So let's follow them through. Rob, who finished P3 last time, currently finds himself in fourth. He's certainly going to be enjoying watching the Audi and the Lamborghini up ahead scrapping away. He's going to be thinking, I'll be picking up any scraps that you two have falling out with each other. As the cars file through the chicane. And then we've got a bit of a gap to these cars between P12 and P16, really close action. We're going to stay on board with these for a bit. So guys, as I said, keep reminding you, if you are joining us, please make sure you leave a like. If you are watching on catch up again, leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please do so. It really does mean a lot to everyone at FRL, to all the admins who take a lot of time out in running the channel, running the leagues, Discord. Looks like we've got a car retired in the pits. Is that car number 87? Let's find out who that is. That's Captain Beak, parked up. He had enough. His pit crew will be packing up for the weekend. I'm not sure what's happened there, but he has retired from the race. That's the number 87 Mercedes Captain Beak out of the race. So we've got Milden flashing his headlights at Marty. Is it a distraction? Try and put him off, I'd imagine. Das Cool here yet again, giving us the entertainment on this stream. The BMW takes the chicane completely wrong, and Das Cool will be like, thank you very much, that will be the easiest overtake I've done in the last 40 minutes of racing tonight at Imola. Let's have a look what else we've got. King of the Hills here. We're going to see if we can go on board with Porsche. I'm going to flag, that's the technical glitch off car number 87 causing the flag, so please ignore that.